Hello all and welcome back to my channel, and today we've got an exciting independent film to review, and this one is called Amityville Descendants of Darkness 2026, and let's go and have a look at the trailer.
For decades, the Amityville legacy has been diluted, exploited, reduced to pale imitations and hollow attempts. But tonight, the story returns to its roots.
People believe that the Amityville horror ended with a boarded up house. They're wrong. The house was never the source. Sometimes it isn't the blood or the relics. Sometimes people call to it. They worship the thing behind the Amityville veil. And then there are the echoes. Traces that remain even after a building is gone. She moaned my name.
Brilliant. Now let's get into the review. So this is an anthology of horror from the minds of Phil Herman, James Panetta, Marcelo Fabani, Derek Braasch, and Todd Sheets. And this anthology breathes new life into one of horror's most notorious legends, proving once again that the Amityville curse is eternal. So this film runs for 1 hour and 40 minutes. So the storyline goes, prepare yourself for a terrifying new chapter in the Amityville legacy when renowned historian and paranormal investigator Dr. Evelyn Marsh reveals her chilling theory. The truth becomes undeniable. The evil born within the infamous Amityville house never died. It spread, infecting bloodlines, cursed objects, and anyone who dared to come too close. The darkness has taken root far beyond its original walls. Through 4 horrifying tales, Marsh uncovers the layers of a curse that refuses to be buried. Each story pulls audiences deeper into the nightmare that twists past and present into one inescapable terror. So, on November the 13th, 1974, 23-year-old Robert DeFeo Jr. murdered 6 members of his family with a shotgun inside their home at 112 Ocean Avenue. And as we all know, it is the infamous Amityville house. After a trial lasting 7 weeks, DeFeo was convicted of second-degree murder in November of 1975 and sentenced to 6 terms of 25 years to life in prison. DeFeo eventually passed away in prison in March 2021. Then in December 1975, George and Kathy Lutz moved into their house with their 3 children into the Amityville house, and within a month the Lutzes fled, claiming to have been terrorized by the paranormal. So the Lutzes confirmed that they had experienced strange phenomena whilst they were living in the house, which caused them to leave, adding mystery to the already cursed house. I really enjoyed watching the news report at the beginning with the news anchor talking about the movie we're about to watch. Fantastic. So we start off with a storyteller, Dr. Evelyn Marsh, explaining the details about the Amityville house at 112 Ocean Drive, and that it isn't just the house that is cursed, but the entire property and anything connected to the house. Her evidence is presented as 4 case stories or case studies, and what I really like is seeing the disintegration of her character as she reveals each of the stories. Her disposition adds an element of fear into the story arc. So the first segment is called The Shed, and this one was directed by Todd Sheets. So a group of thieves, Frank, Danny, and Scarlett, are seeking buried treasure from the barn shed that used to be part of the Amityville property. So I like the shed itself, is it has the infamous Amityville house windows that we all know as part of the attraction of this horrific building, and seeing these on the shed is a great nod to the Amityville horror legacy. So a priest called Father Anson, he becomes involved in the situation, which adds more depth to the segment. So he's been having nightmares about the shed, so he goes to sort it out. There is a demonic cult that enters the scene to cause havoc, and it amps the film up with the addition of some grueling gore scenes. Will the priest be able to save the thieves in time before the legions of demons have their way? The massive twist at the end was unexpected and excellent. So the next segment is called The Possessed Relic, and this one's directed by Marcelo Fabani. So there is such a thing as cursed objects, as we all know, in the paranormal world. So especially if it was at the scene of a heinous crime, it could in fact absorb the negative energies, thus making it cursed with perhaps the attachments of the dearly departed. In this story, Santiago and his wife find that out the hard way, that the rocking chair they have in their possession, which he found abandoned outside the apartment, and they soon realize that it's not an ordinary chair. I like that we get to see the flashback scene of Santiago finding the chair. There is an angry entity haunting Santiago. So the couple have been having marital problems as well as financial issues. And to top it off, Santiago is having visions of the rocking chair and the Amityville house. So this also adds real good tension and a demonic theme into the storyline to enhance it. So unfortunately, something terrible happens when Santiago becomes possessed. Does this mean the souls of those who died in the Amityville house will be trapped forevermore? So the third edition, the segment is called Blood Moon over Amityville, and this one is directed by Derek Braasch. So Frank Holloway. So he's a retired policeman he's been retired for 5 years, but he continues to be plagued with nightmares from the murders that happened at the Amityville house in his younger years. So it's ripping his life apart, and it would seem that his nightmares are leaking into his reality, and this makes for an insane watch with an insurmountable amount of tension and suspense bleeding through the story, adding something darkly sinister. So this one is a great play on the murder victims at the end, and we are left with another massive twist. Echoes of the Damned is the last segment in this anthology, and it's directed by James Panetta. So this is what happens when you build a house on top of the original house that was the scene of a tragic tragedy. That is the Amityville house curse shining through. Jack, played by Phil Herman himself, and Megan, played by Debbie D, thought they had brought their dream home. They were wrong. Evil lives here, and there is no taking that back. A tormented man hides in the woods, haunted by the terrifying memories of Amityville, where his wife's murder and his own possession blur the lines between guilt and a curse that refuses to die. When the couple arrive at their new home, they are greeted by neighbours Mr. Dell and Karen, who are trying to warn the couple about the house they've just purchased. I enjoyed the times when these two appear as they're a freaky couple, but they also reveal a lot of the backstory of the house, of the new house that's on top of the original Amityville house. I like the scenes when Jack is searching through the woods like a crazy man possessed. Then he has nightmares about the Amityville house, adding horror into the story arc. Megan finds something disturbing that changes up the segment into the realm of the supernatural. She seems to be affected by the house. The twists and turns keep me captivated and invested in the segment to see who would come out alive. Overall, these are great additions to the Amityville house legend, where the house likes to take souls. I like that these are all connected in this anthology, and it's a great concept to have bits of the house becoming cursed. Before the end credits, there is some revelatory information to give us a nice wraparound. Some news reports and analysis help to push home the point that even though the Amityville house is long gone, the evil that resides within its walls still remains and continues to disrupt the peaceful town of Amityville. 4 amazing directors delivering us profound short films that truly are disturbing, and the gore is top-notch and will pleasantly surprise all horror fans out there. The acting is superb, and I commend the cast and crew for their commitment to this anthology. And I highly recommend watching this, especially if you are a fan of the Amityville horror legacy. This is a great addition to that. I like it when people can take a story like this and with independent filmmakers making fan fiction of their favourite horrors. And it shows sort of where their inspiration has come from as well, which is really good. So, yeah, when this is due to release, I'm not too sure. I would say it would probably be on Tubi at some stage, as some of Phil Herman's other films are streaming on Tubi now. So I'll link the trailer into the description again so that you can go back and watch it. And I will keep you up to date as much as I can on when this is going to be released, where to find it so that you can watch it too and enjoy it as much as I did. So that has been my review today, and I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, stay safe, be kind, and yeah, take care of yourselves out there. It's a bloody mad world anyway. Bye for now.